You thought, well, I've
got
this gift to read, and I've got another gift.
Well, again, it's out of, you get a burden, you get a determination to do something, you get driven to do it. So with my particular case, I knew something had happened to me was special, and I kept notes of my experience of God and the things of God. And my brother, he carried on his lifestyle, a flamboyant lifestyle, because he was a lad older than me. He was a managing director of his own company called Tudor Charm in Milton Keynes. Everything he did was extremely perfect, brilliant. However, he went through a business breakdown. He went into liquidation, he went through a divorce, he ended up going to Thailand. And in Thailand, he tried to start a business called Paradise Movies. The thing was, he got up to all sorts of tricks out there, and reports were in the news of the world of some of his antics. He then went on to the Philippines to start another company, which was to do with Paradise Express, he called himself. And he was arrested, sent to jail for 16 years. And when I got news of it, it shocked me. It was within 5 years of his sentence, he wrote to me to say he'd read C.S. Lewis's book. He too had become a believer, become a Christian in the jail after his lifestyle. And I went out on a mission to him. But it was that moment when he wrote to me and he told me he had become a Christian, I decided I've got to write the story. That's why I wrote my book, Converted on LSD Trip, because it's telling the story of what Christ has done for me, what Jesus did for my brother, and we learned many others too.
Yeah. We'd have another song at that point. Now, what's this second track?
Right, this song is a little bit about... It's a funny song. It's not funny, it's good. I like the song. People think I can't sing. Well, I can't sing, but my daughter's going to sing it to you. It's one of the tracks called Mr. Very Guilty, and it's the scene setting of when I went to court to confess to the 24 crimes that I committed. Macy's going to sing it. Macy, come here, please.
Yeah. You go around.
Macy's 7 years old.
Right.
And she's a performing artist too. She's going to sing to the audience.
That's right.
What intent to tell? Stood before the court that day, told of my trip to hell. Told them all in detail about my life of crime since leaving Dover, Borstal in 1969. Very, very guilty, there is no other plea. Very, very guilty, it's like we used to be. Very, very guilty, it's like we
Well, that was well done, Maisie. Sorry about the beginning there, and didn't get you sorted out with the techniques probably. But this is live radio on 93.7 Express FM, and it's Terry in the building, and that was Maisie singing along. What was the track called again? I was trying to...
Mr. Very Guilty.
Mr. Very Guilty.
You can get it on YouTube, actually.
Right,
Go and type in Mr. Very Guilty, we've got a video.
That's brilliant. That's the Asylum Seekers.
Well,
Brilliant.
yeah, it's actually me singing, but we wanted the Asylum Seekers to sing it, but they're doing their own version of it.
Oh, right. That's good. That's good. And we're talking to David Clark, who's had a wonderful tapestry life, which is started off with drugs and the like, but come to know the Lord when he prayed. So with that situation, then, David, we mentioned that you started to write books. And on your heart at the moment as well is you did dip into the situation with your brother, which we'll come back to. But on your heart at the moment, you've written some books, but you want to do, should we say, an opera? Is it? What? How can you explain?
Yeah, I can explain that to you.
Yeah.
When I came back from the Philippines, we did extensive work in the jails there, which we can talk about another time. But when I came back, I'd got another book I'd written called Trojan Warriors, which is about the lives of criminals that have been converted. But when I came back to England, I discovered that there was a real problem of drugs in Stubbington amongst young people. And I made some videos. And if you go onto YouTube, you'll find a drugs problem in Stubbington Village 1, 2 and 3, quite a range of it. And I realised these guys needed to know the way and needed to know my story. I felt it would be good to me to tell them the story. So to get this story out to people, it was through music. I thought was another medium. And I used to teach at Le Ferron College. I taught electronics there for 12 years. And one of my students was Mike Fisher. He's the leader of the Asylum Seekers in Gosport. They're a very good band, the best punk band in... best punk rock cover band
in the UK.
Well, I'm not going to be very. I'm not in Hampshire, shall I say?
Yeah, right.
There is another good band. I'm going to plug them here called. Night of Treason. They're very good, but this is a punk rock cover band, right? And Mike Fisher is their leader. We've done a bit of music before, and I approached him. Could he help me put my story, converted on LSD trip, to an opera, as a punk rock opera, and that's what we'll be working on.
Right, yeah. But you're hoping to take this into special places, aren't you?
Well, because of my background and history and what I know and what we've done, we've wore the T-shirt, we've done it, we know that it's imperative to get people to read and learn for themselves. So I felt a good idea would be to take this opera to Winchester Nick, Winchester Prison. And in order to do that, I've been in touch with Caroline Dinenage, the MP for Gosport and Stubbington. Also, we've got an appointment with Mark Hoban in Fareham on the 23rd of September. And also, I think it's Steve Bryan, is the MP for Winchester, who has asked us to go through Mark Hoban. We've also written to the prison, and I've also sent a copy of my book to Prince Charles too, to tell him what we're doing.
Yeah, and you have received copies back.
I've got letters from Prince Charles to encourage us in the work we're doing.
That's right, yeah.
So we hope to get into Winchester Nick.
Yeah.
But not only that, Caroline Dyer suggested to me that she'll put me in touch with the senior man, the MP for prisons, which is Jeremy, whatever his name is, I think of his name, Jeremy Wright, the MP, to get it. We'd like to get it. We'd like to not only perform in Winchester Nick, we'll perform in every prison in the UK if necessary.
Yeah.
But we want to get the story out. To people that can't read, well, help them read. Give them somebody to read. Dr. No's book, this James Bond, are good to read, but you need a good story. But mine's a true story. Yeah. It's not like Pete Townshend's book or his opera, Tommy, right? That's not a real character. My story's real. Yeah. And it's real about what Christ has done for me, and for many he will do. And we hope to get it out.
Yeah. Yeah, and with your music then, and the Asylum Seekers, what was your link to that? Were you in music before?
Well, yeah, in the 60s I was in our own pop band, right, a rock band. Yeah. We were called the Fowlermean, and we did songs. We loved the Rolling Stones. We loved the Beatles, not some of the Beatles stuff. I like the Beatles, but there wasn't real rock stuff.
You're rocky.
No, but the Stones. the Small Faces, the Kinks, and we did all the range of blues stuff. And you can go to YouTube and watch, go to the playlist called The Fowler Mean. You'll see one of our playlists.
Yeah, yeah. So can we link back to the story of your brother now then in the Philippines?
Yeah. My brother was sent to jail in 1996. And I was shocked initially because of the nature of the crime. You'd have to read the book to find about that, okay?
Yeah,
right, okay.
Yeah.
But he actually died of tuberculosis in the jail. Well, when I went out there a year later, after he told me of his conversion, we worked extensively with criminals in the jail, in New Bideby prison, the maximum security prison, the largest prison in the Far East. And as a result of our first mission, we had 5 weeks preaching, not only in New Bideby prison, but the other jails of the Philippines. And Monica Karani, a Filipino pastor out there, took me to Angeles City Jail, and we preached there. There's a YouTube video about that, but he's rang me today, that guy. He wants to come to England to do work in our jails here. However, as a result of that, I wrote the second book, which is called Trojan Warriors, and it contains the story of our mission to the Philippines. It also contains 66 testimonies of converted criminals. Some 22 are on death row that have, in fact, as a result of hearing the word of God, turning their lives round. And we actually appointed one of these guys. He killed a policeman. He got his leg blown off, called William Pollock. He's built 2 churches in his own city now. We sent him back to his city, paid him 6 months' money to support him. He's got an extensive prison ministry in Baguio City and Benguet Provincial Jail. He's got 2 churches, a theological training institute there. Again, you can go and see his work. All the result of what Christ has done for him.
Yeah, wonderful.
You know, God is working in people's lives,
right.
you know. But people can laugh and jeer. But I will speak to the most notorious, outrageous, I don't care who they are, I know what Christ has done for me, and he can do for them. Right, he can do. And even Dave Courtney, I even went, when I came back from the Philippines, I went to see Dave Courtney, right? If you know Dave Courtney, he knows who I am. He keeps me at arm's length a little bit because he's a bit embarrassed about the religious side. But Dave Courtney's a likeable guy. We encourage him to do his work, but we're trying to help him see the light, you know, and that's what we're doing.